pans, basically.
Okay. Hey, everybody. Happy Sunday night. Scott and Mike here. We are back. Scott's back from the nation's capital. He
That's right.
went out there, had to do some campaigning. And
yeah, I was doing some lobbying up on Capitol Hill.
He is gonna.
That's a fun trip. We're ready to go do it again.
You were everywhere. By the way, Mallory's best friend had stayed in that same hotel you guys were in there on the wharf.
Oh, really?
Because I was telling her about your trip, and I'm like, "Yeah, my buddy's there right now." And I was like, "He sent me this picture," and she was describing it before I even showed it to her. I'm like, "I guarantee you that's where you were." And she's like, "Yeah,
dude,
like
the wharf area is awesome.
Yeah,
like you and I would have a lot of fun there. I mean, there's a tiki bar, like tons of great restaurants. It has like this nightlife that is just like really awesome. So like when you're doing all the monuments and museums, because they close kind of early, like 7:00, then you just come back to the wharf at night.
I love that stuff. That'd be a good combo because like you could learn stuff and then have fun at night. Like because I love history, man. Oh
yeah,
I want to go to the aerospace one out there. Oh, see, Jason. Yep, we were just talking about that.
Aerospace is something we want to do next time.
Yeah. I think the Enterprise is out there.
We focused a lot on the monuments, like the memorials, and those like took way longer than we thought. I mean, they're spectacular. So we did very little when they came to museums. So, and there's so many museums.
That's what I've heard in a lot of the shows I watch. Like, there's a lot of museums in this town.
Yeah, and they're free. This was amazing about it.
Well, I mean, we all pay for them. So.
We pay for them.
You're getting your money finally. I've never visited.
Finally getting my money's worth. Yeah, going up to Washington Monument.
It's like buying an annual pass and never going to the park.
Exactly.
But yeah, I'm gonna get out there sometime. Actually, when my dad's friend pitched that time we went to spring training, he paid for our family to go to spring training to drive his two poodles from when the Phillies broke training and went up to Philadelphia. We drove his conversion van with his two poodles, Bunko, and I can't remember the other one's name. We drove them all the way up he lived in New Jersey, but he pitched for the Phillies because like right by, I guess that's right next to it, but we stopped and went through Arlington National Cemetery. I remember that was pretty cool.
Dude, I want to go. That's the thing, Mike. We had so many things we wanted to do, and that was the problem. Like
that's the one we didn't.
I really want to go there because there's like the unknown soldier, and there's like a guard that's on point that's always there. Like, would have loved to see that.
Yeah, we saw Kennedy's like the Eternal Flame. I remember seeing that.
Yeah,
but, I was in 5th grade, and
DC's a cool place.
Yeah, I need to go.
I'd never been. Elizabeth had been there like as a senior in high school or something, so it'd been a while since she'd been there. So it was awesome.
Yeah, it's one of those things. Like I got to go some different places. Like
that's what we're doing, and you
got to mix it in with some real stuff.
You know how easy it would have been, Mike, for us to just use our annual passes that weekend? Because the reason we had a trip because Emily had like Thursday, Friday off of school for whatever reason. So like, hey, let's go somewhere for the weekend. Could have easily gone to Walt Disney World and use our annual passes, but no.
Katie was hanging out. Look, 4 miles away.
I know she was right there. I know.
Yeah.
I didn't realize how close like College Station, I think, or what is Maryland? Isn't that what it is, or whatever? Yeah, like it's so close to DC. I had no idea.
Oh. All right, so we are going to take your calls and talk Disney. I got a couple of stories I want to talk about, but first I got to talk about something that happened today in St. Louis. So just give me 5 minutes, and I'll
try not to be too distracted. The timing of this is really poor on my part. I'm in the middle of a poker tournament, so.
Oh my gosh. So if he wins 10 grand and jumps up, we all know why.
I'll buy everyone an old fashioned that's in this chat.
Dude,
you're getting an old fashioned.
Last night I didn't measure anything. I just
and you said it was like the best one you had yet.
Put it up in the little shaker thing, dude. It was good. I put 3 maraschino cherries and like some of the juice and little orange.
So we got to get you a bar spoon because that's really how you're supposed to do an old fashioned. Is kind of like stir it instead of shake it.
The last time I made, I didn't stir or shake, and it was terrible.
Oh yeah, you got to shake it up.
This was way better because I totally forgot. I was drinking it. I was like, this thing's not good. I was like, but then I forgot.
That's funny.
Yeah, it was pretty good. Anyway, all right, here we go.
College Park. Yes, College Station. That's somewhere in Texas, I think. That's like
College Station. College Station. No. College Station's in Texas. That's where A&M is.
That's what I thought it was A&M. Yeah, I was getting it mixed up. College Park. Dang it, I'm sorry, Katie. I failed. I'm distracted with the conversation here in the poker tournament, but
seriously,
removing all distractions right now.
My team will be named that college town. Where are the Huskers?
That'd be a fun game. We could throw that, mix that in with our sports talk.
Oregon Ducks name their town.
Eugene.
Yep. Well, what about the Beavers?
Penn
Oregon
State?
State. Oregon State.
Oregon State. Oh, I think we got an Oregon State. Oh, I think we got an Oregon State alum that's normally in the
It's
chat.
William. It's William.
Yeah. I don't know.
He's the biggest Beavers fan.
I don't know.
They're in oh my god, I can't even remember.
I should learn it though, since they're we're becoming like teammates in the Big Ten.
Corvallis. Yes, Wade.
Yes.
Corvallis. That's right.
They're going to be, we're going to be like the Pac-12 and Big 10 is going to be like one big family here soon enough.
Yeah, it is. That's crazy. Dude, that is a coast-to-coast conference. Can you imagine like a softball player having to go from like UCLA to Rutgers? Dude, that is going to be rough.
I wonder how they're going to figure out the traveling, because it's like you're going to have like 2 weeks worth of games, I feel like, on one trip, right?
Oh, yeah. I'm like a lacrosse player. Like, okay, we got to play Rutgers. Like, oh my God. Yeah. What a fight. I know maraschino cherries were created at Oregon State. Is that true? It doesn't sound like maraschino sounds like it should be like from Mexico or something. It does, doesn't it? I mean, it doesn't sound like, Is that like they grow cherries up that way? I guess. I don't know.
I don't know.
All kinds of stuff.
All I know is I love them, so I don't care where they come
Me
from.
too.
They're good.
Oh man, especially like at the end of the old fashioned after you drink it and it's just sitting under the ice. Oh yeah.
Yeah. I know I had to change laptop, so this laptop is like zoomed in like really hard, but like I'm wearing I'm wearing the "We Appreciate Your Patience" shirt today.
I had on my Run Disney shirt too until we got the news about Mike Shannon. I put on my Cardinals stuff. So, all right, here we go. All right, so this is good to go. Okay, here we go. That's there. Okay. Well, hey, everybody. Welcome to the BOGP Open Line for Sunday night, April 30th, 2023. I'm your host, Mike Rallman from BeOurGuestPodcast.com and one of the senior agents over at the Magic for Less Travel. Happy Sunday night to you, or happy Thursday if you're checking out the replay here on the feed. And if you are, join us this next Sunday night and be a part of the live action, because we have a good time before we actually start the show and hit record. We talk maraschino cherries. We play Name That College Town and have a good time. So you can join us and get in that chat and have a good time with us. We love it. But tonight we're going to be talking Disney and having fun and taking your calls in just a second at 407-413-9395. But joining me, he's back from his trip to Washington, D.C., to the nation's capital, to check out all those monuments and exhibits. We have your friend of mine, Scotty G. Scotty G, what's going on? Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday, Mike. I love the Name That College Town. That could be a fun game to play on the podcast cruise, I feel like.
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
With like all the, people are going to be from all over the country, like we play like Name That College Town or wear your college shirt. I like that idea too for a little thing. But yeah, happy to be back. Washington, D.C. was awesome. Sorry to leave you hanging last week, but I was at Reagan Airport on my way back about right when the show started. So that was going to be really impossible for me to join, but it looks like you had a good show. You had some good calls, right?
Yeah, we did. And actually, I looked and you were at the airport as the show was going on, because I thought about calling you, but then we had so many great calls, I didn't need to. So I was, I thought, well,
I was trying a half smoke at the time, which is like, so DC really isn't known for like signature foods, but there's this thing called a half smoke. It's like half sausage, half pork kind of thing. Like, and they put a bunch of coney sauce on it. It was actually really good. I liked it. So I highly recommend a half smoke from Ben's Chili Bowl.
Dude, I'm there. And see, now you were talking about all the museums, but now you're speaking about
now I got you. Yes. The half smoke.
Okay, now southwest.com.
Yeah. Ben's Chili Bowl. That's the original place. So you gotta get there. I mean, the Reagan Airport isn't the original location, obviously, but it's still Ben's, so
I'm picking up what you're throwing down. All right. So before we jump in, and I got a couple of stories that I think are going to get the phone lines lit up here in just a second, but something happened today, and I do want to have this conversation with you. It's not Disney related, but I have on my Cardinal gear today, and I wanted to just bring this up because I think Scott's a good person to have this discussion with. We're kind of like brothers from another mother, and I think our podcast family can relate to a situation like this. So earlier today, we found out, you guys all know, and I mean, I've not hid this for the last 15 years plus that we've done this show. I'm a huge Cardinal fan. I mean, I've rubbed it in the faces of Cubs fans. Wade, sorry, you guys are killing us this year. I know we're terrible as a baseball team this year. I mean, a little league team could beat the St. Louis Cardinals right now. We can't even throw strikes. We can't get anybody out. We can't get hits. We are the worst team, I think, since I've been alive right now. I'm just saying, but forget that. I'm still always going to be a Cardinals fan. One of the things that has made me fall in love with the game of baseball, and I think that one thing, and I've talked about this on Mike in the Midwest slightly, if you ever listen to the Patreon shows, is that being a St. Louisan means that the Cardinals are an essential part of your life. It really is, because we've had 2 football teams come and go, and we felt like the NBA's had a team here, it's left. The Blues, we like the Blues. We're a Blues. We love our Blues, but I mean, we are a baseball town, because people say, "Oh, we're a baseball town. We can't, take a football team. That's why they left. We can't support." We can, but that's our thing, and we're very proud of our Cardinals because we have a huge Cardinal fan base. Because at one point we were the furthest west team and we were the furthest south team, so we have a lot of fans in Arkansas, out west and stuff. Anyway, long story short, I grew up listening to Cardinal baseball on an AM radio that my grandpa gave me, because it was one of the first gifts I got. And it was just a used radio he had out in his garage. I remember it had a little analog clock on it. And it was so cool that my grandpa gave me a radio that I could listen to in my room. This was when I was probably like 5 or 6. And everybody in my neighborhood, every kid, because again, I'm 10 years older than you, Scott. So, a little bit generational difference here, but we only had 3 or 4 TV channels. We didn't have cable. We got cable when I was like 10 or 11, but we only have basic channels. But before that, we didn't have a lot of TV. And I would listen to the Cardinals game every night because we didn't have a ton of money, but you could afford an AM. Everybody could afford an AM radio. And we had the radio station KMOX, big 50,000 watt station that covered all the way down to Cuba at night, all the way out to the West Coast. It was a huge station. And every night of my childhood, and, we'd come home from church on Sundays, and, as I thought about my childhood and, being a little child, and also like being a teenager, being my beginning teaching years, all through my teaching career, even up to the last year, we had, you could tune in, you could hear Mike Shannon, who was one of the announcers for the St. Louis Cardinals. Jack Buck was his partner for quite a few years, too. And that was the soundtrack of my childhood. And we lost Mr. Buck, Jack Buck, I believe it was in 2003, because I remember when I got the news that I just broke down. I was teaching at Space Camp at the time. It was my first summer there, because I taught there for 2 summers. And I just remember it was the first time the Cardinals had ever played the Angels. So the irony in that, the Cardinals were playing the Angels, and Jack Buck passed away that day from Parkinson's. And I just remember that I wasn't in St. Louis, and it hurt so bad that, I felt like I lost a grandpa, because the thing was, I never met Jack Buck. And Mike Shannon passed away late last night. We got the news just about early afternoon today. And I broke down a little bit today about that as well. And I never met Mike Shannon, but I listened to him call baseball, and not just call baseball, but have conversations with St. Louisans over the air for my entire life. He started calling games in 71. I was born in 73. So for my entire life, he's been calling baseball games. And it was one of those things, like in the summer from April till the end of September, wherever you were going in your car, you listened to Mike and Jack. And then once Jack passed away, we still listened to Mike with a couple of other guys. And it kind of, I broke down a little bit this afternoon. It kind of hurt. I feel like I lost a grandpa a second time. And it's one of those things that is really weird how you have a relationship, a one-sided relationship. He doesn't know who Mike Rallman is at all, but I appreciated him because he was a true St. Louis, and he grew up in St. Louis. He went to high school in St. Louis. He was a quarterback for the Mizzou Tigers for 1 year before he went professional baseball. He was a 2-time World Series player for the Cardinals. Hit the first home run in Busch Stadium, the second one, hit the last one in the first Busch Stadium. I mean, and he was just a good guy. I mean, he was like a St. Louisan through and through. Like, he would drink beer like nobody's business, but this is a beer town. Like, and I mean, I grew up Baptist. You didn't drink. I mean, like my grandpa, would not like that, but it was one of those things, like, I didn't care. He was such a cool guy. He's always telling stories. One of the things I heard somebody say today was that he didn't call the game. He had a conversation with the fans. So I thought that was the greatest thing ever. He didn't just call a baseball game. He would have a conversation with the fans, and he was always on the fan side. He would get you excited because there goes another souvenir into the crowd. He saw it from a fan's perspective. So as we're, just real quick, because I know we got to get into Disney. I got the Cardinal stuff in. Dedicate tonight's show to Mr. Mike Shannon. He was the greatest, the Moon Man, number 18 for the Cardinals. He brought me literally decades of joy calling baseball games, and we're going to miss him. He was awesome. So I know you guys have had some great. Didn't you have Al Kaline up in
so Detroit? Al Kaline was out. He did some broadcasting, but Ernie Harwell is like the legend for Tigers baseball. I mean, he did some like World Series even back like that weren't Detroit related. So he was like our guy, Ernie Harwell. And I didn't get to experience it that so much because, like, I mean, that's how old he was. He was doing 68 World Series. Like, I mean, that's how old like Ernie Harwell was. But yeah, he was just a legend, and all Detroit fans love him. And yeah, you relate to that, like, because I used to listen to the radio games all the time, or like on TV, and they become your family, especially with baseball, because they're there like 5-6 days a week coming through your house, you know, like they're like
Yeah.
a great friend at that point. And I worry sometimes about like the state of like broadcasting, because like it is an art, like it is a great
It is.
skill to have, to like
It
be
is.
able to call a game, whether it's whatever you're broadcasting. It doesn't have to be baseball, it could be a basketball game or even a non-sports thing. And I worry about like the future of that. Like, are we going to come up, find these other legends? Because these legends are going away, but I know they're up and coming. We're going to have some more in the future, but it is heartbreaking when you lose a friend. Like I like the way you worded it. Like he never knew who you were, but you definitely knew who he was, and he had an impact on your life.
Yeah, and baseball is one of those things, like it's such a slow paced game. I mean, they're speeding it up with the changes and stuff, but you just got to tell stories. And every Saturday night he would do a show called Live at Shannon's where he'd take players. Tommy Lasorda would go over when the Dodgers were in town, and they'd tell stories about the old days. They'd be hilarious because they'd just go over to it because he had a restaurant, and they'd go across the street and just drink and go on the air for like 2 more hours after the game. Right. It was wild. But it was just one of those things. So we're gonna miss him, and it's just one of those things. I hope that what we do brings a millimeter of joy into your life as to what he has brought into mine over the past 40 years. I just hope that we can have a kind of relationship, even if I've never got to meet you, Scott's never got to meet you, Ricky, Pam, Ram. If we've never got to meet you, at least hopefully you see, we are friends, maybe, and hopefully we get to meet, that'd be my joy. But, like
that's my favorite thing. Like, I mean, I know like I'm like the fourth wheel here. Like I'm not an OG, but like I love it when I'm in the parks and like someone recognizes me. Like, and this too, because you used to tell me this early on in the day, like how I'd embarrass Mallory or whatever, like, and I just love that for like Emily, like, or Elizabeth. They're like, oh my gosh, not again. Yeah. But now happens all the time. Like cool, I get disappointed almost when it doesn't happen.
I know. It's the greatest honor. It's so cool. Anyway, so we're going to talk Disney, I promise. So here's one of the stories I want to talk about tonight. I don't know if you saw this, Scott, but there's this story going around that is just people hot under the collar. And it's this influencer from TikTok. Now I'm not on TikTok, but of course it's spread over to Instagram. It's spread over to Twitter, which I'm on those two. And this lady who is, somebody did some digging. Mary Jo Collins, I think did the digging, and she's like a high-end influencer. Okay. So there you go. This is kind of where this is all going. But she did a TikTok story about how Disney World is I think she called it like Disney World's the biggest scam. Did you see that?
I saw some of this. That has something to do with like Hollywood studios and like how much it costs. Okay.
About how much everything costs. So so basically she talks about how I think it was like a family of 6 or 8, right? She had like 6 kids, or it was 6 total or something. It was a larger family, which, we all have big, some people have big families, no big deal. But like, they went to the most expensive character meal, and then they bought like, they had $800 worth of lightsabers. Then immediately after having character meals, they bought like every kid a bucket of popcorn and candy, and Genie Plus and individual lightning lanes. When the crowds were crazy, she was writing this obviously for clickbait.
Oh yeah.
But it's one of those things that just enrages me because it gets everybody fired up. And I mean, the person who doesn't know is going to buy this, and it's, I guess it's their fault for not knowing, but I don't respond to it. I ignore it. And I try not to even click on it. I clicked on it once and I won't click on it again, because I don't want to give it attention.
No,
but that kind of stuff just drives me nuts, because she's getting what she wants. We're talking about it right now, but that kind of stuff just drives me wild, because that is what's wrong, because she did everything in her power to fill her agenda. That was an agenda.
It fires me up. And I know, like, so you work at home now and your coworkers are all, Disney travel agents. So where this really fires me up is when I'm in the office and I got coworkers that aren't Disney people, but they see it, right? They're the ones that see this and they're like, oh, Scott, I can't believe, like, you should have seen this article that I read about how expensive Walt Disney World is. And like, I can't believe how often you go. And like, you must be like then they think like I'm like super like rich or something.
Because like, Daddy Warbucks.
Because this is because I'm having the exact same experience that they saw on TikTok or whatever. Like that's where like it frustrates me the most, because like then I have friends and family that think like this is what I do when I go to Walt Disney World, and then I had to explain to them, no, this isn't how it works, and blah blah blah. This is what happened in that video, and I'm with you, Mike. It is really, really frustrating when like someone that doesn't really know what they're doing, like a non-Disney fan, sees that, and then they're just going to assume that Disney is the most ridiculous, expensive place there is. And it can be, but you don't have to make it that way. And that's true for anywhere. New York City, like, or Washington, D.C. can happen anywhere.
100%. You know, like going to the Cardinals game, right? I can, if I wanted to. There's seats right behind the plate at Busch Stadium. They're called the green seats. I mean, they're probably called something else. We've called them the green seats ever since because I've never sat in them. But they're those seats that are right directly behind home plate where like a waiter comes out and like it's unlimited food, drinks, everything. But the waiter comes to your seat. Like you see them come out during the game. I could sit there, but you know what? I'll wait till like on Tuesday when they have $7 seats up in the top row. And, I still could see the same dang game. I'll still see Ohtani when he's in town if I want to for $7 instead of 500. That just enrages me because she got what she wanted. She got her click. She got her conversation, but God, like it's just to say it's a scam. Cause she's implying that that's how you have to do it. Like you can, but she's making it like, oh, you have to. You don't have to. You could bring in snacks. I wanted to like almost do a video. I almost want
the opposite of us staying at like All Star Sports, going to Hollywood Studios, and
because I can have just as much fun as she had. You know what I'm saying? Like, building a droid and building a lightsaber, that's all fun. But you could still have a great day at the studios without doing that. Okay, we have a call. Eric's coming in from Connecticut. Let's see what he has to say. Hey, Eric, thanks for joining us. What's going on?
Hi, how are you?
Doing great. Go ahead.
Hold on, I have a kind of poor signal. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. You sound great.
Okay, great. You sound good now too. Okay, so your discussion about the TikTok videos and all that stuff, I wanted to direct this kind of idea in another direction here. Right now, the state of Disney news sites is kind of a mess. There's a lot of negativity, a lot of talk about expense, even the ones that used to be really, really good and positive. I turn on and I look at YouTube and it's like, these are the worst things about Disney right now, or here are 5 mistakes you should never make. Where do you go for good news? What are your go-to sites that are honest, straightforward, and positive that people can go without having sensationalism that this major thing is missing from Main Street? It turns out that they removed the caramel apples for refurbishment.
No, I 100% get you. Yeah, I'm 100% with you because and I'm not going to name names, but there's one that's
no, neither am I. I'm not.
There's one. That we all know that is just sensational beyond sensational, right? They only do sensational clickbaity stuff, and like I want to click on it so bad sometimes because it makes me so fired up, but I don't. I'm like, nope, don't do it.
But I just know that Disney Disrespects the Truth is about the walking path by shades of green being removed or something like that.
Right. And there's one that was, in my opinion, this is all my opinion, and everybody's got different opinions, that I think 5 years ago under a previous regime was a very good source for information. Now it's getting very close to this other one that I just mentioned. It's very clickbaity. There's some good stuff sometimes, but about 50% of the stuff's clickbaity now too. And I don't know, Scott, how do you fall on this? To be honest, I'm not trying to plug Ricky, but Ricky never has sensational stuff because I'll be honest, on the stuff on the Mouse for Less, she only gets it from the Disney. There's actually Disney puts out things to bloggers that are it's like a news feed. And that's all Ricky puts out there. She doesn't put any rumors, speculations, any of that stuff. And so but her stuff's super boring, right? It's just like the official dates for the Halloween party. And it picks, I'm looking at it right now.
Dropping a rumor now and then. But don't drop a rumor that's like, they could be removing Fantasmic or something because that's ridiculous.
I agree. But and the only thing I can figure is that you must get a ton of like ad revenue or something from the clicks. It's got to pay for itself because you're selling yourself out.
One of the reasons why I follow you all is because you don't do that.
I appreciate it. And we won't.
Ricky doesn't. This podcast doesn't, and it never did, and I don't think it ever will. But speaking of, where do you go? What are the good websites that you enjoy going for a quick fix of honest news?
I don't go to websites. I go through Twitter, and I'll be honest, I follow a lot of these people, but I just don't click on this. I look at it and I just roll my eyes. I'm just like, that is so stupid. Like, but and the thing is, like, I want to unfollow. And this is me. This is terrible. I want to unfollow some of these sources, but they're so stupid. I can't unfollow them because like I don't want to miss out on the stupidity. Like I got to see how stupid of what because everybody's talking about it, right? I mean, this is what we're doing here.
I've already unfollowed some of them, but the thing is, like every now and then something very, very good drops on these websites. Like you almost have to be a detective now,
right,
like to go through it and say, this isn't good. This isn't good. I know this is junk. Oh, this could be something. Like you have to be a Disney super fan to be able to weed through to be able to have some of these websites pass the smell test.
Scott, what do you do? Because I know you have time sometimes to kind of go through the news. What do you look at?
Eric, I love this conversation because it's so true. Like, and there's so many great ones that have just gone so downhill, and even the ones that I really like are doing the same thing because they have to keep the course, right? Or else they're going to lose followers because for whatever reason this attracts big clicks, right?
Right. They made it their business, and okay, it's your business. It's all about the algorithm, but that's a problem.
Yeah,
it is.
So I think I'm getting this name right, but I think one that I used to really like, and it's kind of gone downhill because that is the trend, right? You have to, stay up top, but it's called Blog Mickey. I think that's what it's called. And they seem to be still like pretty steady from what I can remember. But to you guys' point, I unfollow these and still somehow they still show up in my feed. So I still like see a lot of their stuff from like retweets and other things. So I still like see them, which is okay because like I don't have to directly follow them. So I feel like I'm not like encouraging them anymore, but I still kind of get the news every now and then.
Okay.
Yeah, just like Scott, I follow so many people on Twitter that even if I'm not following somebody, it gets retweeted by somebody and I see it. And I try not to click on anything because I can tell by the headline. I don't click on them. I can tell by the headline, nope, you're not getting me, sucker. I guess it's like, it's like, Walt, like this past week, Walt Disney World's moving to South Carolina. Yeah. You're gonna move a whole, basically a whole.
So that's the article, and then it'll be like 5 seconds. I'll tell you who I do like though. It's like I think his name is Scott, like Gustin or something like that. So
I think Disney goes directly to him. I agree.
He's very reputable. Like he doesn't start stuff, and he spells it out. Like like he lays like a fair argument most of the time. So I really like him. So he's not out there for clicks. So
he actually answers questions too right away. Like
he responds. He's responsive. So I like following him.
Same. So he's a good follow.
I also follow who is it? BioReconstruct.
Yes.
Oh, love BioReconstruct.
The aerial shots. It's no commentary, just like straight aerial shots and excellent shots of construction updates and things like that. And it's very straightforward. So I do appreciate what that guy does.
Yeah. Whenever I'm in Central Florida and I see a helicopter go by, whenever I'm in Central Florida, I see a helicopter go by, I always wonder if it's Bio.
No, I think he has a drone. I'm guessing.
Yeah, it could be it's probably a drone.
Well, and by the way, we're thinking of him because he's going through a lot of health issues right now. He's in the hospital. So,
sure.
Definitely. Yeah, definitely thinking of Bio. Yeah, definitely. He's fighting.
Bio listens, which I love. What I also love about BioConstruct is how like low key they seem. Like there's never been you don't know who they are, what they look like.
100%. Yeah, until this happened. Yeah, right.
So who knows? Maybe Bio listens to the podcast. You don't know.
I doubt it, but I mean, still, if it gets back to him, we're thinking of him. I've been, because he adds a lot to the Disney community.
Yeah.
Well, Eric, thanks for the call. Great conversation. We appreciate it, buddy.
Yeah, take care, guys.
Hang in there. School's almost out. Well, not for you guys on the East Coast. You guys got forever.
We go a little bit further. I'm out on June 19th.
Oh man, we get out here like May 20th.
Yeah, I know, but I guess the good news about that is I get my February break, and a lot of you folks don't.
That's true.
So
state testing starts tomorrow.
State testing starts tomorrow. Here we call it the happiest time of the year.
Yeah, well, we'll see.
Okay.
I don't care because I'm not doing it anymore. So who cares? All right, see you, Eric. Bye. Take care. Bye. All right. That's
also does Mallory do like the PSAT then? Does she start that like as a freshman or?
I don't know. She is taking her state testing though, because if she gets proficient or advanced, she doesn't have to take some final. So that's all I know.
Because like Emily's been doing her PSAT since like 8th grade, and then next year as a junior, she'll finally get to take the real thing. So I'll be glad that that's.
Oh no, we don't take the SAT here. We take the ACT.
Oh, okay. I wondered about. Okay,
Yeah,
yeah, we do the SAT. Yeah.
That's okay. Anyway, it sounds like something just broke in our next caller's house, but hey, who's joining us?
Hello?
Hello?
Hi, this is Sarah. I'm calling you from Walt Disney World.
Oh, okay. Well, at least it wasn't your house that broke there. It was just something at Walt Disney World.
No.
Good.
Nope, just walking through a very busy lobby. How are you guys doing tonight?
Doing great.
Doing good.
Scotty G's here with us.
Very cool, very cool. Yeah, this is we emailed earlier today. This is Sarah, who's normally in South Korea.
That's right. And you're at
Nice. Email-
Shades of Green
Yes,
right
that's
now,
me.
correct?
Yes, that's me.
Awesome.
So
So this is so cool. I've always listened to your show and meaning to call in, and it finally worked out. Yep, at Shades of Green, and yep, having a good Disney World week.
that is awesome. So real quick, because I know you want to share your story about your COVID kind of rescheduled trip, but give us a couple highlights from this trip. What's going on? Sounds like you're running. You're like you're making a dash to the Grand Floridian.
She's heading to Polynesian or something. Yeah.
Yeah, I was there earlier today. Well, I was dashing through the lobby. The Shades lobby is super loud, and now I'm out on the kind of their patio, which is much calmer.
It is
So
not-
you got the chaos of the people coming back from the park.
It's nice because
So
we play golf over there, and I love that place. Is beautiful because I'd never been over that way.
It's a beautiful spot. It's a beautiful
is.
location. Great pools, good spot. I always say it's a deluxe location, moderate amenities on a value price.
Hey, that's a good way to
it's
put it. I
kinda-
like that.
I like it. I like that.
I'm stealing that, Sarah. I got that. I'm writing that. So,
Yeah.
well, I recorded it. I'm going to go back and let's see, about 30 minutes and pop that out. Okay, cool. So how's it going?
Cool,
What's
cool.
going on
I
down
mean,
there?
use it. I think it's an accurate description.
It's absolutely
Okay,
accurate.
So my story is the day that COVID shut the place down.
Okay, go for it. Tell us.
I was here with my other extended family, with my brother and sister-in-law and their kids. And we were at Beaches and Cream having a last meal. And I took my daughter and then the youngest of the cousins with my sister-in-law home for naps to the hotel we were staying at. And we left my brother-in-law and his two kids who were 11 and 13 at the time. And we're like, they're closing the place at 5. They've been very clear. This place is shutting down at 5 o'clock. Everyone's out 5 o'clock. And so they come home at like 4:30 with bags and bags of Disney souvenirs. Bags and bags of stuff.
Really?
And we're like, this is interesting because we'd kind of made a deal not to spend a fortune on this trip, considering that we weren't actually going to get to go on the trip at all. We're like, maybe a plushie, this or that. And so they told us after lunch, they went to the arcade, which was free. They weren't charging for any of the games. And they played games for an hour. And then they went to the gift store at about 3:30. And they're walking around the gift store, and Disney staff keep coming up to my brother-in-law and saying, "Where are you going tonight?" And he said, "Well, I'm from Minnesota, and I'm going back to my hotel." And he made it clear that he wasn't staying at Beach Club. And so they went away, and then they came back a little later. And they're like, "Oh, we're really trying to close up." And he said, "Oh, okay, well, my kids are shopping. We're just trying to finish up, but like they're just browsing, and we thought you weren't closing until 5." And like, well, we're really trying to get people out of here. About the third time they came up to my brother-in-law, they told him, "Anything you want is yours. Anything your kids touch, you can take it for free."
Shut up. I'm
But
staying until closing at every store.
Wow.
They were escorted off property by security so that they made sure my brother-in-law found his car. Because like, yeah, it's so nice. They were so worried about me finding my car, and I'm like, "Yes, Lars," because they thought you were going to try to camp out there.
No
But
kidding.
yeah, they let them raid the store. They came out with bags and bags of souvenirs.
So no, wait.
And they're like, "We're really sorry about this whole thing, but it's us. You can just take it and go, please."
So for context, this was the day that the property shut down for COVID.
Yes. This was the day the resort shut down.
The resorts. Yeah, I forgot because it was
park
different.
Had been closed for a week.
Yeah.
And so, all of the resort guests, they were trying to get out, and they'd finally gotten everyone. I mean, it was a really kind of creepy time to be here. The Disney staff did the absolute best they could to make people happy, but it was kind of a sad time to be around. But yeah, I mean, they really went the extra mile because they see this guy and his two kids, and they're telling him, "Oh, we at midair, they closed the parks, and now we're here. We don't get to do anything." And they're like, you can take it all, but you got to go.
Yeah. William who's
Right.
tuned in, he's tuned in from Oregon. He said, wow, that's crazy. And I 100% agree with his thoughts. Because we talk about Disney only
This
gives
is
you
why
like toilet paper for free, and you just got to raid the store, which that's like a like 80s kids game show prize, like on Double Dare or something. That's pretty sweet.
Could you imagine if they had like the eBay resellers in there and they had that
man,
opportunity?
that's an eBay reseller's dream.
I don't even care if it's my size. I'm taking it.
Yeah. No, I hadn't even thought of that, but you're totally right. You're lucky it was just my brother-in-law and some kids, because they kept it all, and they didn't really understand it at the time. We only explained it to them like a few months ago that no, like all that stuff was free. that's why your brother lets you buy all those swords and all the crazy toys which parents never actually want to buy their children.
The problem is kids when they go
I'm-
back next time, they're going to expect like, I want that. I'm going to touch this and this. My kids be like, what? Isn't this how Disney works? Like, I'm going to go to this store and this is going to be magic.
That's the magic of it, right? You just touch something, you get it.
Yeah. Well, luckily they were happy the next time they came back to actually go in a park, so we were able to smooth it over.
Yeah,
they were
no kidding.
happy to be able to ride a ride next time. But yeah, that's my crazy COVID story that I've been waiting for 2 years to find a time to call in and tell you.
Oh man, it was worth the wait. That's nuts. I mean, it tells you though how serious Disney was taking it, right? I mean, they were like, look, basically, I mean, here's what they were thinking. Just take everything, just get out.
Oh yeah,
that's what they're thinking.
They were real, like I mean that whole week, because we were up here that whole week. We still took the kids and did the resorts, and we went to all the restaurants and all that, and you just heard things like security guards talking to each other, like check the bathrooms, make sure no one's trying to camp out, because they really thought people were going to try to go to Discovery Island and camp out behind the park to try to get in once everything closed.
I remember that. There was discussion of that. Yeah. Yeah. I heard people were trying to do that.
It was intense.
That's crazy. Oh, that was such a weird. I mean, right. I mean, it seems like it was like forever ago. That was only 3 years. Like 3 years ago right now, everything was closed.
It was a long time ago.
It was April.
It's really strange thinking about it, just standing here and looking out at it. And like, yeah, this was, it feels like forever ago, and at the same time, not so far.
I know. Let's hope we never have to go back to that again. That was nuts. Whew. But hey, it worked out for you.
Me either. Crazy times. Well, I'm happy I got to share my story. As I said, I'm like, I need to find a time when I'm in the States and can actually call in, because I thought it was worth telling on the show.
Absolutely. And hey, it's awesome. We appreciate you listening over in South Korea. That is amazing. That is so cool. And thank you and your family for your sacrifices and your service. It means a lot to my family, and I'm sure Scott's as well.
Absolutely.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome.
So where you guys, real quick,
where you so much. You really do brighten our week.
That means a ton. Thank you so much. Where are you guys headed tonight, though? Real quick, what's on the plans for tonight? You guys are at Walt Disney World.
Well, we actually we had dinner at Boat Rights at Port Orleans.
Nice.
We just had dinner over there. Debating trying to go over to the Poly to watch the electrical water pageant, but we have Magic Kingdom first thing in the morning, so we might be turning in a little early.
Ooh, that's a tough call, because it's late. That is late. So I go to bed early, so I'm with you, man. Even though the electrical water pageant's awesome, I go to bed.
Yeah,
early.
yeah.
Stay up for the pageant.
Yeah, the group might split up. There might be some of us staying here and some of us go into the pageant. Now, much as I want to go see the water, I'm probably going to be part of the stay here and go to bed group.
Hey, you're the reasonable, smart person, because you got to get your shut eye.
Yeah, I don't want to suffer in the morning. But,
over Shades of Green.
Sometimes we're staying up.
Do they Shades of Green? Do they do the like in the morning, like at 5, so everybody gets up and rolling?
No, that happens on the military base where I live, but no, it does not happen here.
That'd be terrible if they did that on your vacation.
That happens at 7 a.m.
It'd probably bring back some rough memories if that happened. I think it's wise they don't.
Yeah, I mean, everyone here's on holiday, so they probably don't want to hear that.
Yeah, that's probably not good.
On their vacation.
That's probably not. Hey, thank you so much for calling. It means so much. And again, you guys stay safe. Thanks for all you do, and have a blast out at Walt Disney World.
Thank you so much. We will.
We'll see you later. All right, bye-bye. Oh, how cool is that? I mean, dude, that's unbelievable.
So William just said something in the chat that made me. I was talking about this earlier today with my wife and daughter, actually. So he talked about Rock and Roller Coaster, how he rode it 5 times in a row in summer of 2020, which is crazy because you were there too, Mike. Like we were able to do so much stuff, and even with the shortened hours, we were able to get so much stuff done. But speaking of Rock and Roller Coaster, so that's down right now for refurb. Have they said what they're doing with it? Do you know?
They have not. Again, here we go back to the blogs.
Oh yeah, I know, right?
Again, I just read the headline. I did not read the article, but the headline said that it's going to reopen in early July with no changes. So,
yeah,
who knows?
So I wonder if they're making because I think of this is what I kind of hope they're doing. I mean, if they want to change the theme, that's fine. But I think they would announce if they were changing the theme.
Yeah, they would have announced it by now.
Yeah, but when you ride Guardians, the audio is so good in Guardians, you can really hear it and loud. And then when you ride Rock and Roller Coaster, it's really faint. You can't hear the audio very well when you're on Rock and Roller Coaster versus Guardians of the Galaxy. So I wonder if it's an audio fixture, which would be awesome, which I don't think would take very long to do, but hopefully that's something they're doing with whatever it is.
Well, I mean, too, the time, I don't know, I get Rock and Roller Coaster is an iconic attraction at this point, but the band isn't iconic anymore. I understand it's going to be a lot of money to to retrofit that thing to a different band or a different theme. But I mean, Mallory doesn't know who are I mean, I bet you your daughter does. I bet you Emily knows Aerosmith.
She does, yeah.
She's more into that. But I mean, Mallory wouldn't know one Aerosmith song. I promise you that. And I bet you most kids don't that are in high school right now.
Yeah. Hey, wait. I heard a streaming theme to Rock and Roller Coaster featuring Nickelback. I mean, yeah, no one's going to go to Hollywood Studios anymore if that's the case.
Oh no. Yeah. They need it back open though, just as a roller coaster. I know the whole thing. It doesn't need IP. It's a good roller coaster. Just blast some rock music. It doesn't have to be. It's fine how it is. It's a great ride.
Yeah, but
it's
just awful after riding Guardians. Because you can I can barely hear the audio anymore. Now it's just it's a weird roller coaster with neon and it's really quick. I don't know. The audio, hearing that is what kind of made it in a way outside of the launch. So I would hope they would fix something with that. It seems like it's an easy fix because it works so well with Guardians.
That's true. So did you see, I believe it was yesterday. Now, again, the crowds are down except for the cheerleaders because Summit, it's been cheerleader city for the last 2 weeks because Worlds were there last weekend. This weekend is wrapping up right now was Summit. But I saw yesterday that Guardians and Tron had the virtual queue open past 3 p.m.
What?
I know for the 1 o'clock drop.
Wow. That's crazy.
See, and that's how it should be though, right? I saw that and I'm like, oh, that's crazy. But then I'm thinking, honestly, that's how it should be. So you're not so it's not going to be 3 seconds because
we're trained to think that's how it works. So this is crazy to us when it works that way.
Uh-oh. I think we got a crying person. Hey, who's joining us? We're making people cry. What's going on?
This is Rob Z, just down the road, Mike, in Moscow Mills.
Oh my gosh, that's where my in-laws live. They're up in Moscow Mills.
Oh, it's a great part of the country. Now I just wanted to call in on Sunday and tell you about a recent trip in the refurbished Pirates of the Caribbean, or the old Pirates room in Caribbean Beach, and we got to stay in the Little Mermaid room.
Shut up. Those things.
I would love to hear about that.
Yeah, tell us about that. That's awesome.
So yeah, I remember looking in my in-laws were staying at Riviera, and we were just coming down for the Tron preview, and thought it'd be pretty awesome just stay right there next to them. So last minute, we got 2 nights in Caribbean Beach, and I think it's Trinidad.
Yep.
It's the furthest away. And I remember looking at it, saying who would want to stay here? And we originally had in Aruba right next to Riviera, and I just saw that they had the new refurbished Little Mermaid room, and so I'm like, well, heck, let me try that. And that's the place to stay now in Trinidad. It's just a clean look. I've stayed at Caribbean Beach before, and I wasn't a big fan, but these new rooms, man, they are. I could stay a whole week in there. It's just clean, a lot more space. They did a heck of a job on it.
That's good to hear. And so, if I'm not wrong, because I was just down a few weeks ago for the race. And I took a bus back to Caribbean Beach because it was pouring and the Skyliner was shut down. And I was not waiting in that line of Pop Century to get back from Epcot. So I just jumped on the first bus I could. I think I got on the Riviera bus. It went through Caribbean Beach. I got off there. it looked like they're still working in that section. So I don't think they're all done. Is that correct? Like out in the parking lot, I still saw some like containers and stuff. I don't think they finished the entire thing, but it sounds like they have some of the rooms done.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you if they were all done, but the ones we were in, they were definitely the refurbed ones. And the cool thing about that area too is they've got that little bar there next to the pool. So you don't have to go up to the main lobby to get a snack.
Right.
The Hannah Banana or something like that. Yeah.
No, there's like there's like a little extension bar, Scott. It's on the other side of the road. It's on the side with those pirate rooms over by Trinidad.
Oh, really?
It's called it's on the app. It's a counter it's listed as a counter service restaurant. It's like it's not Scuttles, it's oh shoot. Because I was tempted to go by there and grab something. They don't have a lot of food, but they have like a couple burgers, a couple sandwiches. I mean, they don't have a lot, but they have something.
Yeah. When it's 9 o'clock, me and my daughter, we went down there. I went a day before my wife and the rest of the family came, and we went and closed down old doggone Hollywood Studios and got off the Skyliner, did a mobile order, and it was ready for us at 9:55. Picked it up, went back up to the room. It was nice. It's chicken strips and fries, just your basics.
Yeah.
But for a 4-year-old, and it's all you need. It's pretty doggone neat.
Right. It reminds me of like that the pool bar at Coronado Springs. Basically kind of the same menu, just a few things, but it's like something the kids would like I said, like chicken tenders and burgers, like a wrap, a couple of sandwiches. What's the name of that place? It's driving me nuts. I gotta find it here.
Well, Scuttles sounds right.
I'm looking at it right now on the app because it's driving me nuts. Let's see, Caribbean Beach. Mobile order. It's
I learned something today. I did not know that was a thing. That's awesome.
Spyglass Grill.
Yeah, that's the ticket. And it was nice, man. It's got all you need, and
it's got a Cuban sandwich.
Isn't bad. So, I'm telling you, it had good food.
Yeah,
and it seems like every time we get off the Skyliner, and I'd hit mobile order, say I'm here, and by the time I got there, my food was ready. So you couldn't beat it.
Nice. So you said you stayed at the Riv too?
No, my in-laws.
Oh, they did.
Stayed there, and they loved it. But I'll tell you, for about a quarter of the price, I stayed in a brand new refurbished mermaid room. And,
that's true.
I'm calling it a win.
No, I'm with you. You know me, man. I would call that a win as well.
And
yeah,
and it's got the Murphy bed, so that's the cool thing is you've got so much more space. And then the regular queen size bed is listed. You can slide your luggage under. I can't say enough. I was never a big fan of the Caribbean Beach, but now, man, it is. If you get in those refurbed rooms, that is with that fifth sleeper, it is the place to be for a moderate. I think I'd stay there before any, especially with the Skyliner.
Yeah, Caribbean Beach is hot because that's a Skyliner hub, right? You don't have to take the extra jump like Pop and Art from Caribbean Beach. And here's the thing. Disney's loving you saying that about these rooms because of the rooms at Caribbean Beach. This is why the pirate rooms were themed, because they're a little bit more remote from the main areas of the resort, like the feature pool and the Centertown Market and all that stuff. They have to have a gimmick. And it sounds like these are going to be the best rooms at the resort. And so is it worth it to walk a few extra steps up to the main area? Because actually these are closest to the Skyliner. I mean, those in Jamaica are going to be closest to the Skyliner. So that's a plus. The only time you're going to walk extra is when you're going down to like the food court and the main feature pool and stuff. So that's good to hear.
I would love for it to hit the whole resort though, because those rooms need some love.
They do.
Just telling you.
I'm with you. They could use some.
I mean, I love Caribbean.
All the things he said. They need the Murphy bed. They need the underbed storage.
Exactly. And I love the resort. It's very close to my heart. It's where our first stay was in Jamaica in 2011. So like, I love being at Caribbean Beach because it makes you think of that first trip. But man, do those rooms need some love. But that's awesome that like the old pirate area is hitting it with a home run here. Thanks for the review there, Rob. But that's awesome.
That's cool.
It was awesome. Then we got to see the Tron preview. I don't know if either of y'all got to ride Tron yet. And it was nice. I don't know if I'd wait 3 hours for it, but my son's in the background saying it was short. But the ride did seem a little short, but it was pretty cool though.
It was
just definitely some excitement there at at Magic Kingdom.
Tell your son it was the right distance. It was the right length for me because I'm old. Like I was like, this is awesome, and I'm glad it's over. Because again, I'm getting old. Now, if I was your son's age, I'd be like, bring it on. Let's make this thing go from here to the studios. But yeah, it was a fun ride. I agree with you. I don't. Yeah, it's hard. I don't know. The visuals in it are stunning. It's amazing, and the fact that you're riding like on a motorcycle, that is wild. I just remember I was sitting on there. I was like,
Yeah.
"Are we really doing it? Like sitting like this?" And then we were out of there. I was like, "I guess we are." So it was crazy.
Yeah,
You know,
and
I didn't think about it until we blasted off. Like, is this
I'm not
right?
that-
Go ahead.
You know, when you say that getting old, heck, I'm in my mid-30s, and I still wasn't that terribly comfortable. I'm like, yeah, another 2 minutes on here. I'd been pretty doggone sore getting off, but it wasn't.
Yeah,
It was fun. I just maybe a little bit longer would be nice. That, like you said, the getting old, maybe it was the right life.
I'm saying. I mean, late 40s, and I got busted for having a fanny pack on. I should be in like AARP already. It's crazy. just get me a walker and I'm set. You know, it's like I was almost there. It was terrible. Anyway, well, hey, keep it. We appreciate you listening over in Lincoln County. That's awesome, man. You have to. Yeah, I'm out there quite frequently, actually.
Well, awesome, Mike. Thank you, Scotty. Thank you, Mike.
Hey, you take
good
care.
talking with you.
Give us a call again. We'd love to talk to you.
Bye.
All right, take it. Bye-bye.
Sounds good. Bye.
Love hearing that recap on the old pirate rooms. I remember when Disney, like the Parks blog, announced like the concept for that theme. Like I was like, this is awesome, but like it makes sense in the Pirates room, as you were saying, like because they're out in the middle of nowhere, and those rooms are bad. They really were.
Yeah, the pirate rooms were like they were themed awesome. Like they looked great. Like they showed great on the website.
Yeah.
But dude, I stayed in one of those rooms for my first marathon in 2015, my first full. Because like I thought, you know, because I thought it was an upgrade, right? Because it was kind of like
it kind of was, yeah.
The mattresses were like paper.
I know. Yeah,
and the beds were doubles. The beds weren't even queens. The beds, I mean, it looked like a pirate ship, but they were like as skinny as a canoe. I mean, they looked, they did a good job, like on pictures. They look great, but when you're in them, they were not great.
So, I believe it. I can think of another room that reminds me of. I won't say what it is, but
anyway. Okay, so hey, how about this? I saw this article on the mouseforless.com, speaking of reputable news sites, and I thought you'd get a kick out of this. So pickleball is coming to Walt Disney World Resorts. Now, I have not played pickleball, but I want to play pickleball because I feel like I'm the only person in the world that has not played pickleball.
I haven't either. This is a daily conversation with me and my brother. Like we're like, you know, we're getting kind of older. We're not in the best shape as we used to be when we used, because me and my brother would play all sports. Like we were so competitive with each other. He was like, dude, we need to take up pickleball and start playing that. So it's on my list, man.
I knew Wade would be playing pickleball. Here he is. I knew he does all the cool stuff. Like I got to have people to play with. I mean, I keep getting this thing in the mail. Like St. Peter's has like a beginning, and I don't want to do this like learn to play pickleball thing. Like I was a PE major. Yeah. I used to play pickleball like 20 years ago before pickleball. It was even called pickleball. My buddy was a PE teacher. We'd play this in his gym, in his elementary school gym at night. We just mess around and play pickleball all the time. And I was like, I had never heard of this game, and like didn't hear about it for 10 years, and then it became popular like in the last few.
Right.
Anyway, they're bringing pickleball to these resorts. If you're a pickleballer, you can now play pickleball at Yacht Club, Bay Lake Tower, Kidani Village, over at Animal Kingdom Lodge, in Old Key West.
So what's happened with the tennis courts, I wonder then?
They're turning them into pickleball courts.
Is that what they're doing?
They're striping them is what they're doing. They're taking them, and so a pickleball court is significantly smaller than a tennis court. So from the picture, you can see like instead of the white lines, inside the white lines, they have like little green lines for the it's like in a gym where you have like a volleyball court inside a basketball court kind of thing. Yeah, it's multiple lines.
So I run those resorts all the time, right? Like for like in the morning or even like later in the evening. So I run by those tennis courts a lot. I've stayed on those tennis courts so many times at Old Key West. I've never seen anyone playing tennis.
I've seen that once or twice.
Yeah. So I hope the pickleball interest will be good. You know, like
I think it will.
Be awesome.
I think it will because it's trendy. Here's another reason why. Is because here's the kicker. You don't have to bring your pickleball racket or anything. They will give you complimentary equipment. They'll give you pickleball and paddles, so you can just get it. Dude, we are going to
form a team. We're going to form a team, And I mean, I don't want to take on Wade because he's got a lot more experience than us, but like maybe after,
yeah, 2-on-1, me and you against Wade. Is that a thing?
Or we take someone from his family, like it's me and Shelly versus you and Wade or something, you know?
I need Hugh, dude. That guy's got a wingspan, man. He can cover the whole court.
Okay, well, you two are the same height, so that's kind of unfair.
I don't care if it's unfair to my advantage.
I'm gonna learn, so I'm gonna pick it up in the next couple months so that when we're down there this summer, we're gonna play a pickleball game. Well, they're gonna tie it into like some gambling, you know. There's like street money like on the pickleball court.
Okay, hang on. The number one pickleball player in the state of Nebraska is on the line. What's up, Wade? What's going on?
You guys got me now with pickleball.
Dude, we are going for ratings tonight. We're going after that influencer that spent $800 on lightsabers. Now we're talking pickleball. What's up?
I tell you what, yeah, exactly right. Yeah, are they going to charge for pickleball? I don't know if they even charge for tennis because, like you said, I don't know if I've ever seen anybody playing tennis.
No, it's free.
Disney World. So.
No, it's all free. You know, it's included with your stay. But here's the thing: like, I'm surprised they don't have it at Boardwalk Villas. Like, they have those nice tennis courts there along that little path. I never seen.
But maybe they need to keep some tennis courts for those that do want to play tennis.
Yeah, maybe
what
that's
I'm thinking.
Kind of a compromise, I guess. Yeah. But Old Key West, that screams pickleball.
Put pickleball inside a tennis court. So, like you said, Mike, with like volleyball court instead of basketball court, there's a lot of wasted space when you do that. But you can't do that. So they could do something, I guess, on some of those courts.
That's what it looks like in the picture. I mean, it just looks like they have different color. They have green lines inside the white lines for a pickleball court.
I'm psyched for this because this is something that's been on my radar to learn. So now I got even more motivation so I can play it on vacation too.
Totally. When I saw this article, I'm like, dude, I've been wanting to play pickleball.
After a round of Lake Buena Vista, we'll play 18 holes, we'll shower up, we'll go to the Crew Cups lounge, grab a little drink or whatever. Then we'll go play some pickleball later that afternoon. I love it.
I mean, so Wade, you play. I mean, is it terribly physical? Like, do you get tired? Do you sweat? I mean, like how like aerobic is it?
You do. I mean, here's the crazy thing. My mother, about 4 years, got us into pickleball when she was 75. So, but you can be 10 or younger and play. You can be 80. There's 10 courts by our house, and it's tough to get on when the weather's really nice. It can be a very nice, easy game. I call it ping pong expanded. So, but not as big as tennis. So in between, you're using a really hard wiffle ball, and the paddle is like an oversized ping pong paddle. And so, but you can whack it. I mean, the professional pickleballers, which sounds crazy, but that's a thing.
No, I've heard that.
Are unbelievably skilled. So we go out and play for an hour and a half, and in the summer we're dripping sweat, and you burn calories but you can play ping pong and start sweating after 15 minutes of really getting into a ping pong game too. But when you're outside playing pickleball, so you can make it as competitive as you want. But like I said, we'll be playing the whole family, and then we'll look over and there'll be some folks my mother's age out there playing, and they're just having a blast, playing. And then on another course, you got these guys that are just like whack, 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 So it's awesome. All different levels. It's like golf. You can be very young, you can be very up in age and play golf. And so that's the cool thing about it.
Sign me up. What's funny, I saw like on TV the other day, like Andre Agassi and John McEnroe were like playing each other like in pickleball. I'm like, oh my God, you got these old like tennis pros. Like these are old guys now playing pickleball. Like sign me up. I can do this.
Yeah. Those guys. And if you have a little bit of tennis swing in, you maybe have a little advantage, but you don't have to. You do not have to be a former tennis player or a current tennis player to be able to play pickleball. So I think it's it's great to hear that, at Disney, I mean, because it can be a family activity. Like I said, you can play your whole family. We go out and play, just us, the family. Sometimes we get friends, my brother, others to come play with us. But yeah, just the family go out and play. And the boys obviously they're good. They're young in their 20s. They can whip me pretty well. But but Shelly and I hold our own too, and so we have a good time. So putting it at Walt Disney World, okay, maybe, and it's free. It just gives a great something else to do that isn't going to cost you $800. I mean, who's going to buy 4 lightsabers? But whatever, clickbait, like you said. $800. Go play pickleball for an hour. You're gonna have a blast.
Right.
Good time. I mean, you might die in the middle of summer, but there's plenty.
It's a fun memory, right? That's something like where like you want to like get to the Magic Kingdom, like, hey kids, like it's time to go pack up. Like, no, we want to keep playing pickleball. That's like a fun. That's going to be like a memory that's going to happen for a family. I promise you, right? Where like, hey, we got to go to Epcot. Like when you try to get a kid out of the pool sometimes, and they're like, it's the last thing you expect that they would enjoy on the trip, but they do. Pickleball could be like that next thing. And that's going to be awesome.
Well, too, and I mean, think about the tennis courts. I mean, they've sat there underutilized for probably at least a decade. Like Scott said, I mean, we've all seen that, right? You've walked past these tennis courts just empty. And I mean, this is the hottest game going right now. Use them.
It's happened a lot of hotels. We were at a hotel in Hawaii back in February, and they were tearing up the tennis court. I go, oh, look at that tennis court's being torn up. In the time we were there, in 5 days, they transformed it into a pickleball court at the Marriott. And I'm like, well, there you go. Perfect. They actually did the lines inside the lines. So you can still play tennis, but now you got pickleball lines inside the tennis court. And I'm like, that's perfect. Again, a family could go out there. Tennis is a hard game to play.
Yeah, it is.
I played tennis in high school
Same.
as well as baseball. Tennis is a hard game to play.
Yeah.
So pickleball, man, it's a lot easier on your body, and but singles pickleball is really tough because you are covering more court, but doubles, a blast. What a great move by Disney World. Somebody had a great idea to do that.
I agree. And so in this article they put out real quick, I just wanted to let you know, so it's gotta be excited for this because they're really focusing on this family kind of fitness things over at Art of Animation in the Lion King area of the resort. They're offering family fitness classes. They're about 25 minutes long. They have the dance soundtrack to the Lion King, and they have somebody comes out and does like a little fitness class for 25 minutes with families. That's awesome. Over at All-Star Resorts, they're doing these hidden wellness challenges where there's scavenger hunts around the resort. You get this little, thing at the front desk, and you go around, do these like, aerobics and kind of all over the resort, find these things. And then here's the other thing. Check this out, because Scott, this is your thing. Finally, for those that want to lace up their sneakers, take part in a family fun walk run. These are available at Disney's Yacht Club, Beach Club, and Disney's Boardwalk resorts. So they're bringing back those. At least it says a walk run. I don't know if it's like official or unofficial, but
I don't know.
Maybe
we did that. We did that when they got with the Captain Bankhead. We did the Crescent Lake one. Remember?
Right. And well, you loved them because you did the.
I did them all. Yeah.
I mean, maybe they'll bring those back because those were super popular too. People love those. Yeah. I don't know if they got too big or what, but
that's what I worried about too. But yeah, that would be awesome because I think the problem was that a lot of people that would resort hop then, like that were staying at Yacht Club, then would drive over to Old Key West to do the run, and then it would just get too big, because then you had like non-resort guests, doing it. But
true,
I would love for that to come back. Maybe they could isolate it too if you're staying at that resort,
Possibly. I mean, but again, kind of back to what Wade was saying, it almost makes Walt Disney World kind of feel like, in the 70s, they called it the Vacation Kingdom. And this takes it back to me to that it's more than just hotels and theme parks and, a place to go shopping at Disney Springs, right? You can go play pickleball. I mean, it's not everybody. You can play foot golf, besides regular golf. There are options for recreation, which I'm
bowling.
This reminds me more of Vacation Kingdom stuff, and I like it.
I do.
You're right. You're absolutely right. You've got golf, foot golf, other things you can do, and adding pickleball. I can imagine going out playing pickleball for an hour and you go jump in the pool, right?
Right.
And then you may want to go play again. It's that fun, and it's that hot of a game right now too. And again, everybody can play. You're not going to leave out, the grandparents because they can't play. They can go play. You're not going to leave out the kids because they can't play. They can go play and have a blast. And I tell you, the younger kids, like I said, once they get the hang of it, man, it's tough. Tough to play them, but it's a lot of fun. So that's so cool. What a great move.
And two things for me too. One, I'm glad they're not charging for this yet, especially at a $500 a night hotel. You don't need to. This just needs to be an amenity that's, built in like the pool. It's a reason to stay there because they have the stuff. And I love it for the reason you said, Wade. You might introduce a kid to a sport like this that they never played, and they got to play with grandma or grandpa on vacation or mom or dad or whatever, but they go home and they might find a sport that they like, and it might lead them to playing tennis in high school or, you know what I mean? Because I used to be a PE major when I started out before I went into the classroom, and it's all about lifetime activities, something a kid can find a passion for. And you never know. I mean, on vacation, that's a chance to connect with something. I'm all about these opportunities.
For sure. So I'm guessing now, let's see, BOGP pickleball team. I don't know if it'll be a Wizards. It might have to be something else, but we can figure that out.
Yeah,
the inaugural team.
I'm super competitive, so I'm gonna have to research like the best pickleball paddles after the show, like carbon fiber or something. I don't know.
You're gonna bring your own paddles, even though it's provided, right?
Oh heck yeah, dude! I'll be rolling in. With
I mean, it's gonna be easier to pack that than your golf clubs, So
a lot easier. Now, of course, you got to get the cool pickleball backpack. Like we've got a pickleball backpack, but you can spend about $12 on a paddle. Or you can spend about $250 on a paddle.
I gotta have the carbon fiber.
It's like golf clubs. You gotta find your.
Yeah.
Well,
I would love to see. I want to see Mike spend $250 on a pickleball paddle.
Dude,
I would love.
You don't
to
even
see
know
that.
how much. You don't know when it comes to sports. The price is no problem. Like my hockey sticks, I used to spend a ton of money on my hockey sticks, and then I'd break the shaft. And it used to make me sad.
So here's your new thing. You took up running because you thought that wouldn't be too bad of a hobby. Now you're gonna have pickleballs to be your next thing.
I gotta find somebody to play with. I know. I've been wanting.
Can't you imagine like they start having like Disney sanctioned like tournaments? Like the old Key West Invitational, like Run Disney. You got to sign up for it.
Hey man, that's the next step.
You never know. You can go spend $50-$60 and get a pretty good pickleball paddle. $80 maybe. Find one on sale, so you don't have to spend a ton of money. But that's like running shoes, right? You can go find some cheap ones somewhere on sale or the previous year model.
Mm-hmm.
Same kind of thing with pickleball paddles, and the balls are cheap. I mean, they are, like I said, they're like wiffle balls, but there's different ones for indoor courts. We play indoor sometimes. Then the outdoor is a little bit different, a little more resistance for the wind.
Yeah, there's pickleballs always up at our lake.
Pickleball.
I don't know why, because we don't have any courts, but like there's pickleballs up at our lake all the time because they're like those yellow, like kind of wiffle ball, like hard wiffle balls, kind of a softball size. Yeah, they're just sitting around our lake all the time. Like there's not even a court up here. Like why are these pickleballs up here? Anyway, but yeah, no, we'll have to play down there sometime. I'm glad to see they're doing this. That was good news. And it doesn't cost $800.
Well, and yeah, exactly. That whole thing. I'm totally with you. Because again, like you guys, I get the people say, you go to Disney World, isn't it expensive? How long do you save for? And I'm like, you know what? You can go have a really nice dinner at California Grill, and yeah, it costs you a lot. But you can also have a lot of fun and going to Roaring Fork or somewhere like that and have a lot of fun. So you don't have to blow all your money like that. I mean, I can go anywhere and spend money. New York, Hawaii, yeah, you can go spend a ton anywhere, including at Disney World, but it's not really realistic. So
yeah, she got what she wanted.
Yeah,
she got us talking about it, and she got everybody talking about it on the internet. So she got exactly what she was looking for out of that article. But it just got me seething.
There you go.
I'm such a sucker.
There you go.
Anyway, well, hey Wade, well, I appreciate you calling in, and we'll play pickleball sometime. We're down there. It'd be fun.
We'll do it. I'm working on the BOGP name. Let's collaborate on that.
Yes.
Yeah, there's something related to pickles. So I'll figure it out. Yeah, we'll workshop it. We'll work on it. All right, Wade. Tell everybody we said hello.
That's right.
I love it.
All right,
see you, Wade.
I will see you later.
Talk to you later.
All right, bye. Hey, what a good show, Scott. It was a lot of fun tonight.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Some really good calls. We got to read. We got that great COVID story with the shopping spree, and then Rob had an update on Korean Beach. We talked pickleball. This is a highly entertaining show. I loved it.
We got a little fired up about some social media.
We did get some fire up. Yeah,
we got a little red.
And we got to talk sports a little bit. So
yeah, I mean, that's a win. In about an hour, we got all that in. I'll take it. It's good Sunday night or Thursday. So anyway, we're going to jump out of here. We'll do it again next Saturday, not Saturday. We'll do it next Sunday.
Are we recording on Saturday now?
We are not recording on Saturday night, but we will on Sunday night. So join us next Sunday night, 7:00 Eastern, 6:00 Central. Give us a call. We love talking to you. We can talk about anything that happened throughout the week, whatever you want to talk about. We love taking your calls. It's so much fun to have you a part of the show. So don't forget, our show is brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel. You know the deal. Just swing by the website. It's themagicforless.com. We'd love to help you plan your next Walt Disney World, Disneyland, Disney Cruise Line, or Adventures by Disney trip. And just make sure you have the most magical vacation possible at the lowest cost possible as well. So check them out at themagicforless.com. Also, please use our Amazon affiliate link when you buy stuff online. I know it's kind of boring when you buy sandals. I bought a pair of, so here's the story. I tried to buy a pair of where do I keep seeing the commercials during baseball. They're I got them on my feet right now. They're a new kind of they're Skechers. Those ones they're slip-ons or whatever that like Snoop Dogg wears. You don't have to tie. You just walk.
We got my father-in-law some of those for Christmas actually.
Because I'm getting old, right?
He loves those things though, yeah.
Yeah, well, I went to buy some on Amazon, and so use the link, right? So I thought I bought the right kind, but I bought like some bootleg ones. But actually, the bootleg, because they're only like $28, so I knew something was up. But the bootleg ones are pretty nice, so I have those, and now I use those to walk on the treadmill when I'm not running. And now I did buy me a real pair of Skechers because I knew I was going to catch it from the girls because I had bootleg Skechers. So I tried to like swap.
You catch it from Snoop Dogg. If Snoop saw you wearing those, man, it's game over.
Just saying. I was like, that's because they didn't come in a Skechers box. I was like, wait a second. And then I looked at them.
So you're saying it was kind of sketchy?
That was super sketchy. And I hit the wrong button, but that worked anyway.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be the bell. But yeah, anyway, use the Amazon affiliate link, BRGuestPodcast.com/Amazon. And thanks to our patrons. You guys make all this possible. Patreon.com/BRGuestPodcast. I think I'm going to talk about the relationship between our town and our radio broadcasters this week. Kind of have a conversation about that. So join us over there. We'll have the shows this week. Follow Scott on the social media at Epscott, EPSCOT. I'm at BR Guest Mike. Would love to talk to you this week. And that's about it. We'll be with you this week with the shows. So until we talk to you again, for Scott, I'm Mike, wishing you a great week. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you real soon. Good stuff.
Sorry, I was like looking away a lot. The timing was weird today, but it's all good.
You've made $7,000, I see.
I've made zero money. I've actually spent more money since.
Oh no! Daddy needs a new pair of Skechers.
I know. We're also gonna have to go with the sketchy ones.
I'll send you the link to the $28 ones. You can't.
Dude, the pickleball team, like idea cracks me up. Like I totally missed that article. That's awesome.
It reminds me of like dodgeball, right? We got to have a team like dodgeball movie.
Yes. Oh yes.
We'll come in funny. Like boom boom.
Yeah. Dude, that was on. It was on like early morning, like on HBO when we're like in the hotel room, like getting ready. And there was like 40 minutes left, and we're ready to get out the door to go do something. And then like 40 minutes later, like the movie's over. We just like got so like into it. Like,
the average lizard. Oh my god.
Oh man.
Anyway, I'll let you go so you can finish up your tournament, and I'll let you know. I think the girls are all together, but who knows?
Okay, yeah.
In the morning.
Yeah, let me know. Hey, thinking about you in the community though, with that other thing you told me too.
No, I really appreciate that. I appreciate that so much, man. It means a lot. All right, you guys take care. Tell the girls I said hello.
Will do. All right, see you. Bye, everyone.
All right, see you.